material from Southeast Asia. So we're hoping to develop a new commercial industry here that focuses on producing rubber from Wyoming. And so we're doing a lot of breeding work and other kind of physiological work to try to improve the production of Wyoming.
We've learned, people who have been in science have learned that the way that you learn science, the way you appreciate science, is by doing science. And the earlier that we can get people involved in that process, the better it is for those people. And the better it is for our nation.
My specific project was to develop a gene expression profile for ABC transporters and ligas. ABC transporters, or ATP binding cassettes, are basically a cellular defense that is used to expel antigens from the cell. Basically, when an antigen enters or when something bad enters that will kill the cell, the protein will identify it and then export it from the cell using ATP, so it can never build up to the lethal dosage required to kill the cell.
So my project was to understand the DNA sequence variation in duplicated genes on the A and D subgenome of Pima cotton.
Like, the leaves are really down, they don't work very well. So we're trying to see, does rubisco activase play a role in how well these plants are doing inside of heat and drought stress?
In the cell, we have a regular picture of a cell here, and you see a hypoaccumulation of the lipids, of the oils, in this picture here after it's been mutated. And so it's really significant because it's a tenfold increase of oils in just the cell, so it kind of helps out for biofuels.
Drugs in the water increases, and he found out with caffeine that it does increase, and for us that means that the bioavailability of caffeine is 99%, which means when we take caffeine, 99% stays in our body and one just flushes literally right out, and so that's going into our wastewater, which is what the Gilbert Riparian Preserve is.
What happened in our results was dopamine had a significant difference between naive and mated females.
Learn science can be really difficult. It'll take a long time, but you know, if you have the right mentor, it'll work at the end. Which he promised me. He's like, "This is the last time." He's like, "I promise you this is gonna work." And it worked.
So I feel like this internship really improved my ability to focus, because before this internship I'd never sat down and worked for 8 to 10 hours a day, 5 days a week. So yeah, and so I'd like to thank South Mountain Community College, the USDA.
The part that I found that I really got away from this is understanding where I was heading, because I'm going up to Northern Arizona University, so I picked biochem. But I didn't really get to figure out what can I do with biochem until I started working here, because I'm working with Spencer, who's a biochem major. So I was able to see, okay, yeah, I just picked a major, but now I can see what can I do with that major.
It's not just math. They have to go out there and do all this stuff, get all these results, and look at the data and analyze it. And I think I've grown. I enjoyed it. There were a lot of nice people in there.
I'm going back to the facility on August 13th. I'm going to start as a full-time employee until I go off to Brigham Young University in Idaho in January. So I'm very privileged that I was able to have an internship for the summer and then have it extended to be an actual career. And
I learned a lot. It has changed me for the better, definitely. I learned to be more patient, to be more determined, and that I can actually work harder than I originally thought I could.
Being able to see that my education at work, like my statistics class, paid off. My biology classes have paid off. It really helped me and encouraged me to continue on. Because
there was one major thing that I totally learned from this experience, is that science is never straightforward. But after this, I'm pretty sure I want to work with plants, and I hope to go back and do this again sometime.
Well, thank you for your partnership in this really excellent program. You're very impressive, and it's a wonderful program. Your contribution was great. We've got a certificate of appreciation from the USDA Agricultural Research Service. It says, in appreciation of the partnership, all archives with SMCC through the USDA NIFA UBET grant, and for over $2,500 contributed by SMCC interns during the summer of 2012. So, thank you for that.
let me tell you, it's so incredibly encouraging that soon we're going to have young scientists